the Vedic classes, whatever. How is it going to help us?
See, your question is,
some kind of a,
see, your question is, there are many types of rituals. Maybe it's puja, maybe it's going to yatra, maybe it's any of these things, right? So how does it help?
Or does it help?
Does it help? They are helpful, okay? They are helpful, but they are not the solution. I mean, the way I am saying it is, if you ask me a question, can anasin be helpful in cancer? Definitely is helpful. It will relieve the pain.
but it definitely won't cure.
It doesn't cure. So if I say, no, anasin doesn't help the cancer, it is false. If I say anasin helps the cancer, also is false. So if I am saying, if you ask me the question, rituals, if you ask me a yes or no answer, I will give I don't give both answers.
It has its significance, but not the ultimate
Significance, but not a solution.
solution.
Okay. How it has a significance is, the human being has become a human doing. Continuously we are in action. So now there is let's say there is you are following some certain system. We are supposed to you are supposed to sit morning and evening puja for some time. Right? So now what will happen? Any of routine you have to break. Okay, your continuous routine you have to break. And you have to take a break. And what mean by puja? There's you and God or you and nobody. So spend some time with yourself. Okay. So now these are the systems which are trying to take you away from the intense engagement in the world to a place where you can feel a little bit relieved. Okay. Understand? So it's your engagement in the world is continuously happening. I want to do this, I want to do that, and all. Sometimes you have to give a break. Now the break is, I'll say, you do a puja. Think of God. Okay. Now the God is not. My friend, this in office I have some stress. This person is stressed. Okay. So God is not giving me stress. God is giving me joyful. So now from a stressful situation, you are thinking of a joy and peace. And maybe you are thinking of infinite being. Okay, so now what happens? Your mind starts relaxing. Okay, so in that sense, everything is useful. Whether it's breathing practice, yoga or pranayama, everything is helpful because they will help to relax the mind. Now the problem is the mind itself, whether it relaxes or helps. So every solution is giving a relief to you, but it is not solving the problem. The problem of the mind has to be solved. So you have to go beyond the mind. So now that is a challenge. From a mind to no mind state, okay, is the real crux. Now nobody can go to a no mind state just like that. Okay, they will go through all these practices what you speak of. From japa, puja, yoga, breathing, they will try to do every damn thing on the earth before they can get into no mind. So, if I say no mind state is enlightenment or liberation, okay, I will make a very careful state of this thing. Nobody has got enlightened because of the spiritual practices. Because all spiritual practices are in the domain of the mind. Okay, understand? The corollary to this is nobody can get enlightened without doing spiritual practices. The reason is simple. So the mind is seeking for happiness. So happiness in the world, happiness in this thing. Okay, there is some hope, right? That I want to get happiness. Ultimately, spirituality is nothing but happiness and bliss. There's a hope. Somebody finds happiness in money, power, sex, marriage, children. So now he is getting loses that. After going to some stage, he says, "This is not really worth." So let me try something. Now he'll start trying. Worth is God, puja, spirituality. So somewhere the deep urge is the hope, right? Honge kamyab ek din. That song is, I like that song. Ek din hum hoge kamyab.
That's true.
So now he gets into, when the people become more religious, okay, they become very ritualistic, and then some lot of religious symbols appear on their face and body. So, and people start calling them as religious. So that gives them
The identity.
Yes.
and now from normal social identity you start moving into religious identity, and then they start believing that religious identity is real. And with this religious identity, a lot of wars, fighting, everything has happened in the world. So now, is that helpful? Yeah, it is helpful. It has helped him to get rid of some social identities. Now he got into another identity called religious identity. Right? So, and he started doing something. Earlier he was doing something else, and now he started doing it. Or we mix up these two, that puja, that ritual, going to this yatra, chanting, mantra. Now he is getting some mental relief. Okay. Earlier also he was getting mental relief. Say somebody wants money and power, definitely was getting relieved. Otherwise he would not have done that, right? I want to get power, or I want to get money. He is going after. And once he gets it, he gets a relief for some time. Okay. And then again the urge starts. So it's never ending. There's a desire which leads him to action. There's an acquisition. There's a some amount of rest.
And again,
Then again the desire. It'll start. The cycle comes. So same cycle will shift him from social identity to religious identity. Now it will be a little bit much more comfortable here. Okay, in social identity, there's always a transaction, right? In the sense, tomorrow somebody is there to sit on your head and get things done. Here, God will not come and trouble you. You do puja for me every day.
Yeah.
It becomes easier. Now there is no boss. Okay. So people feel more joyful in this identity because there is nobody bossing around. The sense of little bit of relief and peace and mental calmness because you are doing some mantra, chanting, some thinking of some higher things, all those things. So many of the people get stuck in this for many lifetimes. It's a comfortable identity.
No binding of time.
No binding or time. And also what happens is that if you say, let's say you're a family, okay, you say, there's a house and husband and wife. I want to be free, leave me alone for a few minutes. No. Okay, nobody will leave you alone for 3 minutes, neither husband nor wife. Everybody demands some attention from you. But if you sit in God's puja room, it's isolation. How can you disturb puja? So you get some amount of comfort and relief. Right? No, I'll sit for meditation. Then also people say, what meditation you'll say? No, I'll sit in puja room, I'll do meditating on. Because this person has a fear. If you disturb your thing, something God will do to you. A bigger power will do something for you. So you'll get a relief. So that way from social identity, you will come into a religious identity, which gives you some more amount of freedom and some more amount of peace. So, now some people outgrow this. होंगे कामयाब एक दिन कम ट्रिगर फिर आ गया होंगे कामयाब. Okay, I am so religious person. Why still I am not this thing? What is that? I am restless. Okay, that question people will lack. Actually, most of the people religious, they'll start getting. I want to get this miracle, that miracle. Okay, this happening. Okay, so many of them actually get trapped in what you call as siddhis or benefit of
the religious practice.
benefit of religious practice. And also religious practice has another thing happens is that a social identity, religious social identity will develop. So all of us will go to the same puja, all of us will have same kind of dress. So you start feeling a part of the bigger whole. Right? Okay. So now, same kind of dress, same kind of the beard or same kind of something. So now you start feeling a part of bigger. In a social identity, you are lost actually. Everybody is looking very different. Now you are looking a little bit more uniform group and you are feeling more comfortable. comfort, okay, you are feeling more this thing. And then also, I did this puja and this happened. My son got a medical seat. My daughter, she got a marriage. Okay. So, some things like this happen. So this I call as a sort of miracles, or you can say synchronicity, whatever you call, you name it. And the more people start thinking about that, okay, the more it triggers.
Yeah, what
Okay.
to focus on, yeah.
More you focus on it, more it triggers. So one is you get attracted to this religious identity because of social group, and many times social pressure also. If you don't follow the religious identity, you'll be thrown out, or people will say, what kind of person you are, like that. This thing. Same time, you are thinking of God and you're getting some peace sometimes, and sometimes you get some benefits of perks, I say. A lot of perks. Now whole of social activity has gone transformed into religious. Now the problem with the social these things, everything what you do, perks is proportional to what you do. You do more effort, become smarter, you get a better perk. Whereas in religious, God is giver, He can give you anything. Limited effort, unlimited benefit. So people start getting into that. Yeah, right? So actually most of the people get attracted to what they get, perks they get.
Perks, yeah,
Okay?
miracles.
Miracles. Right? It's a very, very stage where complacency sets in. Now, and people, they for them, God is like an ATM machine. Okay? Whatever I desire, I'll get it back. So that is one level of identity. But some people start outgrowing that. Okay? So they see the futility or meaninglessness of this type of give and take. Okay? Now they start growing beyond religion, if at all they grow. I would say most of the people don't grow.
Stuck in religion.
They're stuck in social identity for a long time. When I say long time, not even one lifetime, many lifetimes, or religious identity, many lifetimes. Right? It goes on. So everywhere the key mantra is there, is Homge Kamaya Vedinda. So I do this puja, okay, I get some benefit. I do this puja 100 times, I'll get more benefit. I did this chanting for 1 million times. That's good. I'll do 10 million times. Like that, we make the religion into again a doing. Okay, but only field of doing is changed. Social field to religious field. Okay, doing with the perks proportional to your doing, compared to doing perks beyond your unlimited perks is something people seek. But this goes on. Actually, when people say I am a seeker, they are actually seeking happiness. That's all, nothing more than that. They are seeking bliss, nothing more than that. But they give various names. Somebody gives us money, somebody gives us car, somebody gives us position, somebody gives us religious identity or God. Okay, that's all. So then it's very, very difficult to come out of religious identity. Very difficult, extremely difficult. Because one thing is, just like you got conditioned by social identity, you get conditioned with religious identity. Now, I am doing something, I don't want to get out. Because you are afraid of what will happen, the consequences. Alright? I am doing this chanting for this time, so many days. What if I don't do? What if they can't answer? The fear becomes more stronger. That's why the terminology came, God-fearing people. God-loving also I have doubtful, but God-fearing is
Yeah.
right. So God-loving means, if you ask, probe a little bit further, what is God-loving? They start saying, okay, my son got a good promotion. I don't know whether you love God or you love the perks associated with God. I don't know, but somewhere loving is there.
Loving again because I've got the returns, not loving God for God's sake,
Okay.
not
God's
for
sake.
what.
For sake, right?
Yeah.
So people get into religion mostly for the benefit which they get, right? Okay, it can be anything. So more for it's like more of an investment and return. A return. All right, that's what is. And if you break it, then there's a fear that there's a social pressure definitely. Okay, social pressure is there. Then there's a pressure of the fear also. What happens? Because God is unknown entity, unknowable. Okay, now if I get into some bad books of God,
Of God.
that's a bigger trouble. Bad books of my boss is okay, I can find another job. Bad books of God, how do I escape? The fear factor. First factor comes into which is motivation factor. Second factor comes into fear factor. So both are actually sort of a mind, and it can continue for many lifetimes. Okay. So at some point of time you start questioning, what am I doing? And okay, instead of getting some benefit from God, I want God itself. Now ambition has become bigger. It is like as promised. Why is target for small things, small benefit, this, that? Let me get God itself. Okay, right? There is like it's like typically it's like there's a story, no? A hen which lays golden eggs.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm getting only one egg a day. Let me get the hen itself. So with so much of God is blessed me with so many things. Why can't I get God itself? Actually, please understand, these are all growth is happening at the ego level. So love for God also is coming from a desire for unlimitedness. And also you have heard so many things from scriptures. God is like this, God is like that, and we have also superimposed on God. Okay, he is also married, he has a children and all. My life travel, I have put him on. And in the process, I mean, they're all there helpful for, because you can relate to God. Okay, you cannot relate to a God which is unknown, unknowable. So you can relate to God as a person with a married and having children and troubles similar to me, but slightly better than me. That type of relationships help you to connect in a better way. Otherwise, it becomes very difficult for you to connect. So, like all mental projections happen, God also has become a mental projection. Now, people I want God. Okay. So, instead of what God gives a benefit, I want God itself. Now, then you say love for God. And also, please understand, all this love, everything is happening at mental and conceptual level. It's a societal program. A person who is born in our society will want a God of certain style. A person born in some other society will want a part of some other. So it's a cultural conditioning or just like another social conditioning. Then people start looking for God. Okay. So now they say, I don't want any benefit from puja, I don't want anything, I only want you, God. Then they gradually start realizing the God, personally, the God comes in the form of saints and sages. If they can recognize, otherwise it will not happen. It's a very, I'm saying, I don't know how many lifetimes will go in that. They start recognizing in terms of very, very evolved beings as a representative of God. Okay? So now who is that evolved being? It's a saint or a sage. Okay? Okay, sir. A sage. They start going after saints and sages. Initially they start going after the dress also. This color dress is robes. Okay, then gradually they graduate into robes. Actually robes will not help. Then what is behind the robe will help. Then they understand what is behind the robe also doesn't help. What is inside the person also. So they start looking for, and this is also a part of a growth process. So you start from God, you start looking at a person who is evolved. Because why you are going after a evolved person, right? I want God, I don't have a key. So somebody seems to be very, very evolved and he has a key. Somehow let me get the key. the next step. And you go there. So instead of getting keys, you'll end up with a lot of preachings and teachings. Your rituals are replaced by now teachings. So what is teaching? Love all, be happy. Arre Baba, that's what I want. I want to be love all and I want to be happy. Be peaceful. Yes, I want to be peaceful, but how? So this is next level of evolution. But many people get stuck with saints because of miracles. Actually, most popular saints in India are most miraculous siddhis. Okay, so it's only from God it has shifted to, from benefit from God it has shifted to benefit from a saint. Right? I'm speaking of a stage where they have outgrown that. Now they are looking for not the benefits, but they are looking for the God himself. Now God also is a conceptual God. Right? So they are looking for some benefits. Now, or some technique or method. And of course, there are techniques are available plenty. This is what you call as anything you ask, technique. Breathing one technique, chanting one technique, opening the third eye is one technique, closing the third eye is one technique. There's a movie called Maya Bazaar in Telugu. You heard of that?
I've heard,
Okay.
but not seen it.
It's a wonderful movie. The person who made the movie must be a Gyani. Okay, he calls Maya Bazaar. Means this is a bazaar, supermarket. Anything you seek, you get it. Any technique you seek, get it. Any technique you get it. So this is a Maya Bazaar actually. So you start seeking for a technique, that technique you'll get it. Okay.
Yeah, so
And
there's a
you
technique for every getting.
technique for every getting. You come to a stage.
Then you are doing.
Doing and actually visualization, creative visualization, affirmations, neuro-linguistic programming, all types of techniques. So techniques after techniques. So you get this is another level of now, but at least the things have slightly improved. Okay, situation has improved. It's not as bad as earlier. Earlier you're trying to get from the society. Then you start trying to get from God. Then you try to start getting from God, saints. Now you are trying to get something out of your own thing, which is the situation is slightly better. Now here is the stage of what you call self-improvement books. The most popular books are not Bhagavad Gita, not Bible. How to stop worrying and start living. Okay. How to keep your wife happy, or how to be happy when your wife is happy. All these are self-improvements. So the person from external thing has started moving into self-improvement. Now what he doesn't know is self cannot be improved actually. Self has to be discarded. He has not come to the stage. He keeps on improving the self-image. I want to become better. And then he definitely starts feeling better also compared to worse situation earlier. And also he starts feeling that person, he is not in spiritual. I'm a better person. Now there's actually comparisons taking place. Okay, yeah, he is an ordinary mortal. Actually, I have one of my students actually. He became a monk at a young age. And he wandered Himalayas and many places. And he made a living through begging. He wanted to go to a saffron place. Then go for bhiksha. Okay? And the monks, when they get bhiksha, they're not supposed to eat it like that. They have to mix it. So the taste is okay? So he tells me, whenever I get bhiksha and look at people well dressed, I feel pity on them. I'm a superior. See, these are all struggling samsara. Whereas I am, see, they are eating, they need a specific type of food. I can eat any type of food. The comparison is triggering in. Even the saffron robe, internally what is comparison is going on.
Yes.
Right? So, this will happen. So now you feel better. Actually, our feeling, if you look at our sense of feeling, better is better always in comparison with somebody. If my neighbor has a sort of a ordinary car and I have a SUV, I am much better than him. So now actually the triggering happening is the better We don't know what's absolute. We always relative. Compare and grow. Okay, still you're in the stage. Self-improvement is the mantra. So the comparison happens, and now he starts growing in that. And he feels much better compared to a person who is not in self-improvement and all. As a part of self-improvement, it becomes a package. Yoga, meditation, breathing. Okay. So now all these are doing. It gives a comfort because as long as there's a doing, you are comfortable. Ego is in a comfortable position. Okay. Ego is in a very comfortable position. Do something, it knows. Yes, I can do. Can you do 100 times breathing? Yes. Yeah, can I do, if I do 12 times breathing, will I be a better person? Yeah. So, now you are in a competitive race for spirituality or this next level of evolution. And at some point of time, even that also people start getting saturated, or they may not get saturated also.
We can start.
So, one of person in the Middle East, okay, he is a devotee of certain this thing. In that, their main sadhana is chanting. Okay, you have to do chanting X number of times, Y number of times. As you grow in evolution, you will do increase. So this person writes to me from Dubai. I'm so happy chanting God's name. Okay, I'm able to chant only 3 hours a day. Rest of the time he has to work for his living. Okay, and weekends I'm able to chant for 6 hours. I'm feeling very this thing. I am praying to God only to give me 24/7 chanting. Okay, then his question to me is, how can I do it? How? I mean, he was thinking that should I leave his job? I mean, he's trying to find a mechanism by which he can do 24/7 chanting. So it's a doing. And then I told him, I gave this thing. I didn't tell him what futility of his doing. Then I gave him, actually there's a very soft way of saying it in teaching. The soft way is chanting. Okay, chanting is you do verbal, mental. So I said, 24/7 chanting can happen when you from japa becomes ajapa. Okay? No, it doesn't go on. The ajapa has a very different meaning. It doesn't tell. Then he said, how can I do it? Again, how can I do it? Then I told him, go and talk to your guru who told you to chant 24 hours a day. Ask him. If he knows, he will tell you. Okay, so this is actually becomes we get into self-improvement. Okay, then finally after all this honge kamyab, we realize हम कभी नहीं होंगे कामयाब. This venture is always bound to give no return. कभी कामयाब नहीं होंगे. Then people get into new path now. New path is called Jnana Yoga. Through Jnana you can get liberation. Now a person becomes Jnana Yoga. I read so many scriptures, this scripture, that scripture, become addicted to scriptures. Okay, because now Jnana you don't have to do anything. You only listen. From social activity to religious activity to spiritual activity. Now you have come to passivity. Listen, Shravana. But now here the competition. I read only 4 scriptures, another 7 more are pending. It is still accumulation only. Right? So in that accumulation mode now. And you are always very this thing. I read this scripture, but there must be something in that scripture. And our ancients are very smart actually. They know how to attract you to scriptures. And they always put a falashruti. Everything is a falashruti. What attracts you is the falashruti. So that's another problem. So next, that only another thing they get. Okay. So they are very smart. If you tell something as secret, it will attract you. Okay. So that's why they are right. Tripura Rahasya. Secret of Tripura. oh my God, what secret is there? I have to find out. Curiosity of human being goes up the moment you say secret. And that's where the concept came, secret initiations from guru to disciples. If it's open initiation, then nobody will come because it's free. There must be some secret in the secret initiation. And this started becoming a big industry. I'll give you a secret mantra, secret initiation, this dollars, this many dollars. This is another thing, the secret business kind of individual. Okay. So now beyond secrets the most popular books will be where the word secret is mentioned. Okay. There's a book called Secrets.
Secret.
The Secret. It becomes
and a sequel to it also.
and a sequel.
Law
That
of
becomes very, very
Law of
powerful.
attraction.
Law of attraction, the sequel. Right? There are some formula for writing a successful book.
Yes.
One is write a book with the title This Secret. Okay? Then write a book with the power of
Subconscious mind.
Power of the subconscious mind, power of the positive thing.
power of this thing, power of attraction, whatever you are, the power you add, and the book will get sold. So now you are seeking the secrets. Okay, now we are in a secret search. Secret search, then you are seeking power, and everything you have to come to a limitation. Okay, you have to come to a limitation means this, but people don't come to, okay, people keep on going. Then you go into jnana, which is accumulation of knowledge, scripture. I know this knowledge, and you have to see the Panditas. Their left and right and center, the chanter, this sloka, this meaning. The knowledge is power now. Knowledge is very powerful, because if I am able to say something to you, very knowledgeable, authentic way, I become more powerful. Right? You see, the doctors, when you go to write a prescription, they don't write anything in common name. They write in Latin, and that you can't read.
You can't go back and ask the doctor.
You don't. Okay, the stomach ache is there. Okay, or headache is there. It is given a Latin name. You think something problem is there with you. There is common cough and cold. The doctor will say pneumonia. My God, something has come to me. My grandma used to call it cold. The doctor is calling pneumonia. Pneumonia is old, water. So you got into this secret business now. Right? So this is the challenge. So many people will not come out of this. Okay, these are all like a maze within a maze. Unless you are able to see through this maze, you'll never be able to come out of it. Then you get into a maze called scriptures. This scripture, that person. See, all mantras are in tongue, tip. We get amazed by the vocabulary, they're amazed by the delivery. This is next level. And then you start, I want to read scripture. One person came to me, okay, like this, see people. One person said, I'm after spiritual knowledge. Okay, I'm after spiritual knowledge. Okay, yeah. So what do you do? Jnana is the only way. I agree. So then he says, my whole purpose in life is to complete all the texts written by my guru, his master, who is the ancient master. Then how many texts are there? I got a heart attack. Only 64 texts are there, written by the master, and each of them are in Sanskrit. This person's purpose is master those. And I have a person friend, okay, who didn't know Sanskrit. He was an engineering graduate like me. Then he went to America. Then he said, okay, I have to understand scriptures. Then in America, he studied Sanskrit. And he went up to, up to this thing, that level, the way, Pandita in Sanskrit. He read so many scriptures. All scriptures are his fingertip. Okay. But understanding of scriptures is this much. He is very happy accumulating knowledge. Okay. Now knowledge has become power. And worldly knowledge you have become, you know the problem. Now spiritual knowledge you start accumulating. This is a person has come to this level. Honge Kamyab is continuing triggering. Unless you see through the limitation. Actually, nobody teaching will help. You have to see it yourself. Understand deep inside, you feel, oh, this is the limitation of this is this much only. Others, anybody coming and telling you, nothing will go into your head. What you call second-hand knowledge will not help you. Like that's a second-hand knowledge. No, every father will come and call his son. Oh, my dear son, okay, don't get married. Marriage is a big trouble in life. The son say, Papa, it's your experience, but I don't have my experience. So no preaching will take you any far other than until it becomes your understanding. So it will come to a stage you see outgrow all these things, and now you become hopeless. होंगे कामयाब चला गया. Then you come to a situation, oh God, I don't know where to go, I don't know what to go, I don't know how to get you, I don't know who you are, I don't even know where I am going. Save me, show me the path. That's called surrender. Now I am not asking anything. I don't even know where to go, what to do also. How to do also, forget about how to do. You only have to show me get me some mess out of this. Okay, this whole thing is a mess and it's a big, what I call as a big game going on. I get into everything there's a hope and promise. At the end of the day, nothing is coming out. This is actually called surrender. Sharanagati. You have to come to a stage. I am not speaking literally in the sense of God. At least you have to understand. I am not speaking of God or something. You have to come to a stage. You have to understand the limitation of your ego.
Okay. Limitation of identity.
Limitation of identity. You have to come to that. So then you have understood. You have come to the peak of what can be done as ego. And up to this point, it's called sadhana, spiritual practice. So that's why it is said in this thing. Nobody gets enlightened because of sadhana. Because enlightenment is not a result of sadhana.
Yeah.
Okay? Right? Nobody gets enlightened because of spiritual practice. But nobody got enlightened without spiritual practice. The purpose of spiritual practice is to exhaust your ability.
Come to a state of sadhana.
That's exactly what happened to Buddha. He struggled very hard. And he came 6 years, he did very, very intense this thing. Then he was not able to cross a river also. Then he said, he gave up. Sat silently. Now, got enlightened. From doing, you have to come to non-doing. From doing, you have to come to being. The doing has to be exhausted. Okay? So, at that time, the God will come to you in the form of a spiritual master called Sadguru. Okay? There is no way we can see God. There is no way we can understand God. Sadguru is the only form where you can see God in physical form. What we call realized master. Till that point of time, we have so many concepts about God. God is like this, God is like that, God is like this variety of concepts about God. Now you have got a lot of disillusionment has come in the process of sadhana. Ultimately, you will come to a point. But sadhana has prepared you, okay? It has done something good for you. You have understood nature of mind, how volatile mind is, or how mind is behaving. So you have understood about what you call as about yourself in a much better way compared to a person who is engaged in a social activity or this thing. So your understanding of yourself or your own behavior or your nature is much, much better. Definitely you have become a much better person compared to others. But you have not gone beyond a person. The person is still there.
You're still the person.
You are a better person. Okay, you are a better person, but still a person. Right? These are what are called more evolved persons. We see many of them. We come across very, very evolved persons. Okay, they are very nice to be, and they're gentle. They are do-gooders. So we come to that. Now Sadguru is no longer a person. He has gone beyond person.
Yes.
Okay. So up to this point, you have all external symbols are available. Up to this point. Okay. Because everything is manifesting as an external. A Sadguru who has lost internal marks. Okay. Internally he is understood his nature. I am not body, mind or intellect. I am pure consciousness. So he has no internal identity. When there is no internal identity, there is no external identity also. Okay. But most of the time we have spiritual seeking, we look for external identity. Right. Typically length of the beard. So there is a thumb rule in this thing. The length of the beard is proportional to depth of your enlightenment. So we are stuck with that external. A person, realized person, is very, very simple. Okay. In fact, he is so simple that you can't distinguish from others. He lives in a life very peaceful way, and in a sense, he has no external marks with him unless he takes up for purpose of teaching. So, when you come in contact with such a person, first thing which happens is you start feeling peace. Because now from doing to non-doing to you are becoming just being. Okay. So Ramana Maharshi has asked a question: how you can find a Sadguru? Who is a Sadguru? Sadguru is one in whose presence you feel peace. In Sadguru is in a person in whose presence all your questions will vanish. It is not that you will get an answer. Okay, questions become irrelevant. Such a person, when you come across, that is the last leg of your spiritual journey. Okay, last leg of your spiritual journey in the domain of forms. Sadguru is the final form of God in the form of physical form. After that, journey is Nirakara, Nirguna, Nirvikalpa. There is no journey there. That journey comes to an end. Now this journey comes to an end not because you acquired something, not because you are doing something, just because you are a being, you dropped everything. Now the dropping everything has another connotation. Okay? So without dropping anything, you can get enlightenment. That's what is the teaching. Right? Tyage naike amrutato manashu. Tyaga alone can lead to it. Now we have understood this teaching very perfectly. I have a wife which is causing trouble. Drop her. I have a job. Boss is a big trouble. Drop the job. Okay. I have a dress. Change the dress into another color dress. I have a lifestyle which is troubling. So you drop it. So now this dropping which they are referring to, not dropping of what I have, but dropping what I am. Dropping of what I have is called becoming a monk. Dropping of what I am is called enlightenment. It's very comfortable to drop what I have rather than what I am. If you drop what I am, what you have doesn't matter.
Correct. Whether you have or you don't have also doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. But people are comfortable in doing. Dropping is also doing. So let me drop something. Now that's where many of our spiritual texts, they are very, very biased for a monk way of life. If you read it, this type of life, monk life and all, there's also a focus on doing. But the teaching of spirituality is not about dropping what you have, but dropping what you are. And how you can drop what you are? By clarity, the understanding. And that understanding comes from the teaching. The teaching of the master or Sadguru gives you the clarity how to drop what you are. Right? And once you drop, it's not physical dropping, it's not even psychological dropping, it's at understanding level the dropping happens. So this understanding frees you from all kinds of knowledge and ignorance. Because when you drop what you are, then what remains is what you really are.
Ah.
I am, the real I. So that remains. And that is the end of journey. And at the end of journey you realize that there was no journey at all. Always you are there. Always you are there. And you are running around all the while for looking for something which was always there. Okay.
Thank you.
Hari Om.
Yeah.